In ancient culture, there are certain prescriptions for people. They don't explain why it should be done, but they say that it must be done. According to the Vedas, a person should stand in water every day. One should fast for a certain time, do prolonged, continuous movement, and go on pilgrimage. One should do these three practices and also perform stationary position of the body, like yogis sitting motionless. These practices restore the subtle energy body, nourish it, just like you need to eat. For example, the physical body is also nourished by three energies. In general, everything in a human body is created from three energies. You know? The soul has three energies: the energy of eternity, we all want to live; the energy of knowledge, we all want to know; the energy of happiness, we all want to love, to be happy. In the subtle energy body, these three energies transform into the energy of air, energy of water. The energy of knowledge is the energy of water, the energy of air is the energy of eternity, and the energy of happiness is the sun, air, and water. This subtle energy body consists of air, water, and sun energies. The physical body works the same way. We drink water, breathe oxygen, and the energy of the sun is consumed through food. When a person eats, they receive the energy of the sun. Everything grows under the sun. Therefore, these are subtle energies, invisible. The sun has invisible, subtle energy. For example, the sea. When we were in Sochi, a city near the sea, I said, "Do you see the dolphin?" They say, "No, but it's there." It's the same with the sun, the energy of the sun. You can't see it here, but it exists. If it didn't exist, food wouldn't be digested. It's the subtle energy of the sun that digests food, the energy of air. There is air here, but the energy of air here is only 20% out of 100. Do you know why? Because the energy of air only appears when a person goes out into fresh air. When there's open sky above the head, that's when a person consumes the energy of air. Imagine if you're indoors all the time. Will you have enough of the energy of air? And people spend 90% of their time indoors. That's why everyone is exhausted, and water energy exists only in water. When you get into water, you receive water energy. Therefore, no energy means no life. And now you will see from the examples of your life, your fate, that we are not half alive but half dead.
I haven't found solutions to my problem.
What illness do you have?
Dr. Torsunov, they haven't made an exact diagnosis. I have a complete intolerance to daylight.
I see. Are you covering your face because you start having an allergic reaction, or what?
Severe skin manifestations.
Yes, I've encountered this several times in my life, I understand.
Dr. Torsunov, you've consulted me about my health before.
Ah, that was you. I tested you quite recently. Did they tell you everything you need to do?
Yes. The thing is, I did these asceticism practices in winter, spring, and generally throughout my life.
Did you stay in water for 5 layers? Did you do static exercises for 5 layers? Did you do prolonged continuous movement for 5 layers and fasting?
Not for 5 layers, no.
And that's the whole problem, because the damage could be exactly there. Let me check you now. I have your diagnostic results. You have a very weak Saturn. This means that you have very strong internal sensitivity and a natural severe deficiency of the energy of the sun. Can you sit down, or do you have to stand?
I haven't been able to sit for 13.5 years.
Why is that?
After an injury.
That's tough. But at least I can see her face through the photograph. The 5th energy layer is heavily overloaded, very heavily overloaded. I think the damage is happening exactly there, deep in the psyche. In medical terms, it's the retina. The retina becomes highly overstimulated, then the overstimulation spreads to the skin. Because the 2nd layer, where the skin is located, is also very heavily overloaded, and basically you need to do all asceticism practices for 5 layers to at least ease your condition. Can you lie in water for 5 layers?
Not at the moment, but I hope to in the future.
What temperature water can you lie in? What temperature?
Now I swim in the Ob River at night.
What's the water temperature?
22 degrees.
Can you lie in 22-degree water? And do you feel better after being in the water or not?
Mentally and muscularly, yes, but regarding light sensitivity, nothing changes.
How many minutes can you stay in the water now?
20 minutes.
So you're already cleansing 2.5 layers of your subtle energy body. When you can stay in water for 39 minutes and do it 3 times a week, then you'll reach the possibility of adapting to normal life. But along with that, you'll need to maintain a stationary position of the body for 65 minutes every day, standing against a wall if you can't sit. You need to stand still for 65 minutes to start the circulation of water energy. Then you need to start prolonged, continuous movement. Most importantly, you need to understand that you'll need to do fasting on greens, at least lettuce leaves, the most adapted product for you, blended with water, and fast for 60 hours once every 2 or 3 weeks. But that will come later. You don't need to do this now. First, you need to work with water, then start prolonged, continuous movement. Then when you practice fasting, you'll start restoring the sun's energy in your body. All in all, it will take you about 1.5 years to reach a condition that will be acceptable for you. As far as I understand, this will mean being able to stay not in bright sunlight, but at least in the shade. You won't need to cover yourself with anything. It will just be a bit difficult at first, but then you'll get used to the sun. What happened to you? You can't consume the energy of the sun in the amount that it exists on Earth. The energy of the sun is what a person needs for life. But there is such a problem that people can reach a state for some reason where they cannot tolerate it. Some people can't get into water. I've seen a case in St. Petersburg where a person got into 22 or even 24-degree water in summer and his fingers and toes started turning white. I immediately pulled him out of the water. He simply can't tolerate water energy in the amount that exists on this planet, and this means maladaptation. In your case, you can't tolerate the energy of the sun. This is the same kind of maladaptation. Some people can't go outside. It's called a cold allergy. They go outside and immediately get a rash all over their body. This indicates extreme energetic exhaustion in the body. All of this can be changed. For instance, I fly very often and my water energy gets depleted. Despite knowing all these laws, only about 3 years ago I reached normal levels. But the normal level isn't what you think it is. 3 years ago I couldn't enter 11-degree water. My legs would get cramped. A cramp means you can't do it. If you enter and you're shaking, then you can do it. But a cramp means you really can't. This is a maladaptive state. And what did I do? Every day for a month I stood in 22-degree water for 40 minutes each day. And after that my subtle energy body recovered. I did this for a whole month and my subtle energy body recovered. And after that, when I got into 11-degree water, I started feeling just a slight tremor. Then I lowered the temperature more and more, and now I can get into 0.5-degree water anytime. And nothing bothers me at all. Just absolutely nothing at all. The body just gets stiff, but there's no feeling of cramping. So I can stay in freezing water for 4.5 minutes. This is how much time you need to spend in freezing water for the subtle energy body to fully recover. But it wasn't like this before. I couldn't do it, because my subtle energy body was depleted. That means it recovers, you understand. This is good news. Now you see, you were able to get into 22-degree water. That's very impressive considering your constitution. Do you shake there? Do you tremble?
No, I really love water.
That's good. This means you need to work your way up to an ice hole and try to get into freezing water every day during winter. Well, work your way up to it, and you need to do static exercises every day. The more water energy in the body, the less the energy of the sun stresses you. This is a law. And then, when you do fasting on greens, move on to water fasting. When you do water fasting, you'll start the circulation of the energy of the sun in your body. And you'll need to do 60-hour water fasting later, when the time comes. When you get the sun's energy circulation going, then I'll give you one piece of advice that will save your life. You will go out into direct sunlight, tightly covering your eyes so you can't see, but with your crown exposed. Because people absorb sunlight through their heads. When a person covers their head in the sun, they deprive themselves of the ability to be nourished by the sun. People don't understand these patterns. For example, there's heat and there's direct sunlight. What do you think is the best way to handle direct sunlight? Do you know? No. You need to stay in water every day and go out into direct sunlight every day, letting it shine on your head for a specific amount of time. When the sun's energy circulates through the body this way, a person isn't suppressed by stuffiness. Stuffiness is the befouled energy of the sun. It suppresses a person's sun energy. If you sit in the sun with your crown uncovered, even little sun will be enough. You shouldn't do this now, definitely, but next season. Then you can gradually get to the point where you can open your eyes. Especially if you can travel, let's say, to the south and be in the sun there. Because there, in bright sunlight, it takes about 22 to 25 minutes in summer to cleanse one energy layer. So in about 2 hours and 15 minutes, all 5 energy layers are cleansed by the sun. Thus, after practicing fasting for a long time, after you've been cleansing 5 energy layers by walking for 4 hours, once every 6 days, After you've been doing static exercises and staying in cold water 3 to 4 times a week. When you get used to staying in the sun with your crown uncovered, only after that will your retina begin to heal. Because it's located in the 5th energy layer, it needs to be energized by the sun directly through the crown, and only then will you have the opportunity to see daylight. And all of this is possible. I can clearly see how you will succeed at this. It will take about 1.5 years for everything. By next season, you'll start exposing your head to the sun. This is the only way for you to heal, because doctors don't know about the subtle energy body, and they don't know that this is a disease of the subtle energy body. And therefore it seems completely hopeless. A person who doesn't know about the subtle energy body will never heal. There's no chance. Let's say they even learn that this is a problem with sun energy. Well, it's obvious even to a horse that these are problems with sun energy. She can't look at the sun, that's obvious. But how to cure it? Well, poison is cured by poison. You know, there are cobra catchers. They inject themselves with small doses of poison. It takes about 1 year for a person to get used to cobra venom. And then when a cobra bites them, they don't die. Similarly, sun problems are treated with sun. Men's problems are treated with men. If you have an intolerance to men, it means you need to start communicating with men in small doses, gradually getting used to it. Why are you laughing? Men have heavy energy. That's why women get stressed out near men. That's roughly how it works. But it's impossible right now because first you need to fully restore the water energy circulation, then the air energy, and only then the sun energy. That's all, my dear. She has beautiful blue eyes. All right, we'll restore your beauty. Don't hide it. No need to cry. I can feel her inner beauty perfectly. Are those contact lenses you're wearing? In the photo, your eyes are so blue, aren't they? Then why is the photo like that? They're a bit grayish, yes? All right, I understand. Good. All right then, that's all. Who really needs to ask? You? Well, let's take the last question. We'll start the lecture soon.
I have a feeling that my fate is falling apart. We moved from another city to Barnaul.
Which city did you move from?
From Stropsovsk. It's a small city.
Is it far?
No, not far, 300 kilometers.
300 kilometers? You see, sometimes you move just 300 kilometers and the energy is already different, not suitable for living.
Doesn't suit at all.
Here in this city, it doesn't suit. It was better there than here. And you know, just traveling 200, 300 kilometers and sometimes you can find yourself stuck. Life really falls apart. Some people just can't find a job. For others, their health deteriorates. For some, their family falls apart. The place where you live matters a lot. A person can't always live in a certain place. Sometimes a place suits them and sometimes it doesn't. But even if a place doesn't suit you, you can do asceticism practice. When a place doesn't suit you, it means some energy is being suppressed. Here, your air energy is being suppressed. This means your willpower functions are suffering. It's hard for you to make yourself do things. It's hard to get going, to get out of bed, as if you're being weighed down here.
No, well, I force myself.
Well, this is simply the influence of the location. But if you do prolonged continuous movement every day, walking a little and once a week walk for 4 hours, then you can resist this. But is it worth it?
Yes, that's what I wanted to ask. My mother died, I buried her, and now my son has completely stopped communicating with me.
Where does he live?
We're living together at the moment, renting a place.
And it's even harder for your son to live here than it is for you, even more difficult. I have a question. Is your village near or far from the mountains?
There are no mountains there. There's forest, pine forest.
Why am I asking this question? Mountains influence a person's ability to tolerate a certain place. The closer a city is to the mountains, the harder it is for those who aren't compatible with them. And it's easier for those who are compatible with these mountains. And mountains are always suitable for some people and not for others. How far are the Altai Mountains from the place where you live?
You know, I used to go on holiday to the Crimea when I was young. I really liked it there.
Crimea suits you. Those are different mountains. Have you ever been to Altai?
No, I don't want to go anywhere else for vacation. I saw Crimea when I was 20. I don't want to go anywhere else.
Go to Crimea.
What about Stavropol? I don't have the opportunity to live in Crimea, and I don't know anyone there. How about Stavropol?
That's fine.
Thank you. I can't live here anymore. Everything's falling apart. I have no strength left.
You've already mentioned that. Are we going in circles now?
No. That's all, thank you. Is Stavropol more favorable?
The mountains there suit you and the climate suits you.
That's all, thank you. I'm grateful.
Or return to your city where you used to live. No, I'll decide myself who to ask. Some people need more, some less. Your question, lady?
Thank you. Good afternoon. I'm very happy to see you in person. I have such a question. I'm going through a difficult time right now in terms of my health. This started last November.
Blood vessels, right? The third energy layer is affected, either joints or blood vessels or muscles.
Problems with the uterus.
With the uterus is also the third layer.
It's calmed down a bit now, but I'm going through a difficult period in my relationship with my female manager at work. This keeps happening between us. She wants me to quit. She keeps insisting that I'm not suitable for my position.
What is your position?
I'm a risk engineer, risk manager.
In what?
In risks.
That's a specialized profession. It will be difficult to find a job.
Yes, especially in my town. I work for a mining company and this is the only position of its kind.
What other options? Where else can you work?
I'm an accountant, but I don't like it. I don't like accounting work. But I don't have much choice. Should I hold on to this job?
Speaking in technical terms, fate always acts on 3 layers. There is a spiritual layer. You lack strength there. You don't know how to pray. You lack strength and knowledge.
I've only just started praying.
There's no knowledge. You haven't worked on that. There is a social layer. You have good social strength. You can interact with people. You treat everyone kindly. And there is the subtle energy layer. You have a problem there too. Your air energy or willpower functions are severely depleted. You have inner weakness.
Yes.
Perhaps this weakness affects your work too. Your attention span might be deteriorating. You're distracted. You don't complete everything that needs to be done. This can be overcome by prolonged, continuous movement.
I do it.
How long do you walk?
I walk for 4 hours, for 2 months now.
How often?
6, 7, 8 days break.
The difficult period will continue for about 37-40 more days. If you hold on, then she won't be able to fire you. Your air energy will stop being depleted. Your work fate is being destroyed specifically through air energy. The worst peak of bad fate will come in 2 weeks.
That's exactly when she'll return from vacation.
This started 2.5 months ago.
Yes, around that time.
Can you extend the vacation?
No, I can't.
Will she return from vacation?
I'm going on vacation. She's returning and I'm leaving.
That's good news. That's great.
I'll recover during that time.
And the bad period will end, and you'll return.
Yes.
You need to pray about this situation. Use prayer to help remove the contradictions between you. There are 3 circles of fate. The first circle is calmness in your heart regarding your boss. The second circle is purifying your relationship. On the third circle, her attitude toward you will begin to change. All this can be achieved through remembrance of God. We have a prayer retreat.
Can I add something else? I started running in April last year. I ran and increased my pace. I was doing well. And in November, I simply couldn't run anymore.
Because a bad period started, so you have to walk at least. This means you haven't reached your potential. You should also know if a person is going through a bad period related to air energy and they run, they also deplete their water energy. Make sure you spend enough time in water and do enough static exercises to be able to run.
I do static exercises, 1 hour and 6 minutes.
Then everything will be fine with you. You know the whole methodology. You practice it. Bad period. During such bad periods, people usually break down completely. How does a person break down? They don't practice anything. A bad period comes, their air energy drops sharply, they get spasms in their head, ischemic stroke, and goodbye. And you can overcome it by prolonged continuous movement. If you practice it and a bad period comes, you'll feel a sudden lack of air energy. But because you're trained and have lots of air energy in your body, you just feel dizzy. You can't run anymore, but if you continue with walking, you'll survive. Premature death occurs due to bad periods. If you lack water energy, some sudden inflammatory process begins. Lack of sun energy, cancer starts. When a person has a correct lifestyle, they can live for a long time. This means going to bed on time, waking up on time, doing all these asceticism practices. Premature death practically doesn't happen in this case, except for accidents.
Thank you.
Everything's fine with you. I like it. Everything is going well. I think there's a very high probability that your boss won't be able to fire you, and if she does fire you, you'll have to work as an accountant. Because that also suits you. All right, it's time to start our conversation. First of all, I'm glad to see you all. Thank you for meeting me at the airport today. There were such beautiful people in national costumes. There were several teams of athletes who arrived, but they weren't welcomed like I was. I was met by people dressed up in these beautiful national costumes with songs and dances with traditional bread. Everyone around was wondering who had arrived. They convinced me to join you the day after tomorrow to stand in the water in the morning. Good. Our lecture is called Life's Trials, Overcoming Circumstances. We will study what fate is in practice. For example, I'm usually fine with flights. Does this mean that it will be like this forever? No. Do you think this happens by chance or not? Scientists mostly say it's by chance. They say probability theory. There's a probability that you will crash on this plane. But in reality, this is not probability. This is how fate works, and you can feel it. There is a right method to deal with fate, and there is a wrong one. Getting hysterical in this case won't help. Fate is a force that acts upon us. Let's figure out where this force comes from in general. What does it do? In this world, there is the energy of time. There are actually two types of time. There is spiritual time. We can also connect with it if we remember God. Whatever a person remembers, they switch to it accordingly. There are different influences of time. There is spiritual time and there is material time. Material time constantly increases the amount of difficulties in life, while spiritual time constantly decreases them. If a person connects with spiritual time, they reduce the amount of difficulties. Life becomes easier for them. They overcome the influence of fate. Because fate only works through material time. Material time has three aspects. It can lead a person into degradation, passion, and pure goodness. Pure goodness is when you have good fate. Passion is when fate is tense, and degradation is when fate destroys your life. A person can clearly feel that their life is being destroyed. For example, you moved to another city and life began to fall apart. You can laugh about it or not, but that's how it works. How does a person feel when time of pure goodness affects them? How to determine what kind of fate is influencing you? The simplest way to determine this is to identify what you're thinking about. When good fate is acting, a person doesn't think about themselves at all, or almost doesn't think about themselves. When good fate acts, a person just enjoys life, they're happy about everything, they feel good. When fate is in passion, they think very much about work and business, they're like dying all day long, they are working very hard. And when fate acts in degradation, they think only about themselves, about their life. Fate in degradation can be of different levels. If it's on a low level, then a person thinks about their life only after work. At home, they come home and think, but sleep well at night. When cruel time or fate in degradation acts on a medium level, then the person thinks about their life even at work. They can't distract themselves, they work. They have two parallel processes. On one hand they work, and on the other hand they simultaneously think about their life. And when fate in degradation acts at a high level, then the person thinks about their life even at night, even while sleeping. And they might not even sleep at all, which is even worse. Therefore, my dear friends, we need to realize this. The degree of awareness of what fate is can be completely different. But most people understand that there is fate, but as soon as it comes, a person becomes paralyzed. They don't understand what to do, and it is possible to do something. They say, save yourself whether you can or can't, but you can do something. It's not necessary that everyone will deal with it this way, but in any case, good fate expresses itself like this. We have three options right now. So when there's good fate, a person feels very good. Life is easy and pleasant for them. Everyone strives for such fate. They always ask, hello, how are you? I'm doing well. Well, good. And how are you? And I have some business, some worries. This already means fate in passion has started to act, time in passion. What does time in passion do to a person? It takes away time. There's no free time. Time in passion has come. Sometimes a person has many things to do and also has time. They quickly get everything done and feel fine. They need time and they have it. Sometimes a person has no time. This means fate acts in passion. It takes away free time. What does fate in degradation take away? It takes away a person's ability to live normally. There seems to be time, but life is difficult. Either someone betrayed you, left you, or you were fired from work, or someone was taken somewhere and you're worried, or something else like that. This is called fate in degradation, or cruel fate. How to determine when a cruel fate comes to a person? Does fate commit violence against you in ordinary life? Do you believe that it will never commit violence against you?
We would like to believe.
We hope so, don't we? Either we believe or we hope. We say, this won't happen to me. My dears, it will happen to everyone. Dr. Torsunov came and said, it will happen to everyone because, my dear friends, it's like waves in the sea. Fate is sometimes good, sometimes bad. It switches all the time. A person cannot guarantee that they will be able to live their whole life peacefully without problems. I came across a song when I was sitting at the airport. In my youth, I did ballroom dancing and danced rock and roll to it. I remembered my youth. If I practice for 2 or 3 days, I'll be able to dance pretty well. You need to work well with your toes there. I haven't danced for 40 years or somewhere around 35. I did it in childhood. It's good fate when people dance. Life's melody isn't always like this. I need to practice. I didn't even think that my foot couldn't move like before. I was surprised. No. I used to dance on slippery surfaces. It was fine. The second variant of fate. What do you think when fate acts in passion? What does a person lose? They lose their fulfillment. They cannot be filled with nature, be filled with people, and be filled with God. When does a person get filled with nature? When they are in nature. When does a person get filled with people? When there are good relationships. When does a person get filled with God? When they are focused on spiritual practice. What's the first thing fate deprives a person of? What's the easiest thing to eliminate from your life? It's easiest to eliminate God, meaning no time to pray. When prayer is eliminated from life or has never been practiced, what does a person lose? Let's speak in very short phrases so you have formulas in your head. If a person doesn't pray, they lose luck. Remember this. Luck is God's energy. If a person doesn't pray, there's no guarantee that everything will be good for them, rather the opposite. If a person loses good relationships, what do they lose? Happiness. Happiness comes through relationships. A friend in court is better than a penny in a purse. No friendship, no happiness. Love, friendship, kindness. How to determine if you will have happiness? If you have no kindness in your heart, you won't be able to be happy. Let's say you're offended by someone, angry, holding a grudge, and so on. You need to enter a state of kindness to have happiness. No kindness, no happiness. When people don't receive the energy from nature, what do they lack? Health. The 3 aspects of overcoming fate are luck, happiness, and health. This is what every person needs in their life. What should one do to have luck? Think about God. Who do we think about in life? We think only about ourselves all our life. Even if we love someone, we still think about ourselves in connection with that person. A person should think about holy people, about holiness. It doesn't have to be just prayer. You can look at icons in a temple, or simply be inspired by someone's holiness, by someone's purity. It's all connected with God. When a small child is born and you look at how pure they are, this is also setting you to God. When a person is inspired by the spiritual purity of people, God and holy people, they can count on fate not to break them. Fate breaks a person because there is no remembrance of God. A cruel fate breaks a person. To avoid this, you have to be influenced by another time. Material time always acts either in pure goodness, in passion, or in degradation. That's it. It has one program. To switch your memory to holiness, you should be inspired by holy people. You should serve them. Do something in the temple. You should praise them. There are different ways to interact with holiness, and they all free a person from the control of cruel fate. Let's say a husband leaves. What to do?
Pray.
Okay, good. First, if you say, don't leave, he leaves anyway. If you say, leave, he will definitely leave. You say nothing, he says, you don't need me, and leaves. Nothing can be done when cruel fate acts, whether you go towards it or against it. It doesn't care what you will do, because it has come to destroy you. It's very difficult for us to accept this. We can accept any fate except a cruel one. We never want to deal with it. And the only salvation from this cruel fate is to switch your memory. But people don't know anything about this. Let's say a husband leaves and you tell this abandoned woman, pray. She says, I already know that. Give me some advice. She doesn't even understand what it means to pray. Prayer means the ability to switch your memory. If you can no longer switch your memory, you've already fallen into the vortex of fate. This means stress will continue because stress is the result of fate's influence. What does fate do to a person? It does three things. First, it chains your memory to itself. Second, it exhausts you, you lose energy. And third, fate breaks you. And then you live in stress. It has three functions: to chain, to exhaust, and to break. Remember? Look at what stage you are at. Are you already chained? If you're already thinking only about your life, you can't distract yourself, so exhaustion will follow. And the more you think about your life, the more exhausted you become. How to determine the degree of exhaustion? Very simple. When it's the first degree of exhaustion, a person cannot maintain a daily routine. They need to go to bed later and wake up later. They can't eat on time. They need to overeat late in the evening. It's all very pragmatic. If the energy of water is depleted, a person cannot fall asleep on time. They often don't even explain this to themselves. A person says, "I like going to bed at midnight." You don't like it, you lack water energy. That's why you can't go to bed on time, because the energy of water connects a person with the moon. Your connection with the moon is disrupted, and the moon is responsible for sleep. You can't fall asleep because there's no connection with the moon. The energy of water and moon energy are the same thing. You have little energy of water, that's why there's no connection with the moon. For example, you crave sweets late in the evening. Specifically, sweets represent the energy of water, but it's no longer subtle energy. You're trying to replace one with another. Men drink in the evening. Everyone starts drinking in the evenings at first. Then they can drink whenever they want. Drinking in the morning is already a sign that a person has strong destructive processes in the body. In short, they just wake up and start drinking, and in the evening they drink because the lack of the energy of water prevents them from sleeping. When a person needs to relax, they drink just to fall asleep at least. Alcoholism is not a human vice. It's a lack of energy. A person drinks out of desperation. There are three emotions that are signs of cruel fate. The first emotion is desperation. It's like a bird beating in a cage. Desperation depletes the energy of water, and a person becomes very vulnerable, sensitive, and resentful because of it. Resentment and anger lead to desperation. The second emotion is hopelessness or fear. They are the same thing, just different in appearance. Hopelessness depletes the air energy in a person's psyche. The third emotion is disappointment. It depletes the energy of the sun. Here are three emotions that destroy life. They are all connected with cruel fate. A person says, "I am disappointed in you. You were one person to me, now you're another person." And a person constantly thinks about this disappointment in someone. "You were one person to me, now you've become another. How could I, fool, believe you?" This is how the energy of time works. Imagine we are in a puppet theater and we need to control puppets by pulling strings. And the puppet needs to play some role. Let's say it must play a scary role. Time acts there. It will make anyone play any role. You are sure that this person will never betray you. Time comes and any person acts like a zombie, plays any role. It's amazing. This is how cruel fate works. When cruel fate is not acting, everything is predictable. But when cruel fate comes, it's impossible to predict anything. We've already played the first half and managed to understand just one thing. We've already lost all our friends. Try not to lose yourself. This is cruel fate. That means it convinces you that you can't rely on anyone in this life. When cruel fate comes, it turns out that people cannot protect us. How do the best people on earth abandon us? How do the finest people on earth abandon us? The best people on earth not only abandon us, they die. The best people simply pass away. And everyone else abandons us in whatever way. It's just a matter of technique. A person doesn't belong to themselves, they can pass away. Unexpectedly. We don't control the situation in this regard. Diagnose yourself. Who has fear inside? Raise your hand. The air energy evaporates with tremendous force. When people have despair, strong resentment, or anger inside, their water energy evaporates. When people have disappointment, their sun energy evaporates. When water energy evaporates, the first thing that happens is that a person cannot fall asleep. When air energy evaporates, sleep becomes shallow and not deep. When the energy of the sun evaporates, a person starts eating late in the evening. Have you experienced such a state when you become a refrigerator terrorist at night? A person can't stop themselves. This happens when there's a lack of the energy of the sun. Because food is the energy of happiness or the energy of the sun. A person needs to somehow get the energy of happiness to sleep. It's impossible to fall asleep without happiness. When there's suffering, a person can't sleep. And when a person eats, it helps a little bit, because the energy of the sun is best replenished by the sun or by joyful people. There are two types of joy. There's female joy and male joy. What is female joy? Female joy is love for people. Let's take a beautiful woman. What does beautiful mean? Is it about wearing makeup or having plump lips? What does it mean? She loves people. Remember this. If a woman loves people, she adores everyone, thinks everyone is so good, then she will be beautiful to everyone. She becomes beautiful. Everyone loves her. I've revealed to you the secret of beauty. This secret is to love people. Also, a woman is beautiful if she loves nature. Beautiful means she is filled with beauty. Beauty is the energy of the sun. A sunny woman loves nature, loves people, loves everyone. Sunny means beautiful. A beautiful girl means sunny. These are ancient comparisons. In Sanskrit, the word lala means sunny, beloved, and red simultaneously. We also have similar translations. For example, fair maiden, where fair means beautiful. Fair maiden means something is glowing in her. Her cheeks are glowing, her lips are glowing, her eyes are glowing. Why is everything glowing in her? Because she loves people. A woman's sun energy means love for people. If a woman has bad karma, does she love people? She says, I don't need anyone, I don't want anyone. Is it clear how a woman's beauty works? Delight means to give the light of the sun. How does a woman give the sun or delight? She gives love. A woman loves everyone and she likes people. This means she is delighted, sunny. If she doesn't like people, it means she's not sunny. When a woman is filled with nature's energy, what will she do next? She will sweep everyone off their feet with her beauty. She filled herself with love and started sweeping everyone around off their feet. This is how female nature exchanges energy. How does the energy of the sun work in a man? Does he also need to like people? This difference is embedded in the subtle energy body. Therefore, a man cannot become a woman in this sense. A man's interaction with energy is different. A woman acts through love for people, but a man acts differently. For a man, the energy of the sun means cheerfulness. A woman rejoices in people, while a man rejoices in life. He is an optimist. Are women optimistic by nature?
But a man can also love.
He can, but just a little bit. A man can also love people, but it's not his main function. How does a man fill himself with the energy of the sun? He fills himself through cheerfulness. Optimism is male nature. A man can't love like a woman. The road runs and runs, never ending. Along the way, we meet poppies and tulips. They are swaying, and they smile at us like old and kind friends. A man can't love everything. It's a female function to love, and a male function is to rejoice. When a person is filled with the energy of the sun, they become beautiful. To be beautiful for man means to be cheerful. And what about a woman? She is beloved and loves everyone. So how do you interact with the energy of the sun in your city? Is there sun in here? Yes. Excellent. So then this is not for you. If there's no sun outside, you can listen to a song about how to survive. How to fill yourself with the energy of the sun. There's a feminine way and a masculine way. People are walking and feel happy. What does it mean to be happy? It's the masculine energy of the sun. And when they walk, what are they doing at this time? They smile, love everyone, and share happiness. Others get filled with the energy of the sun from them. When people are filled with the energy of the sun, what should they do? Give it away. Otherwise, what will happen? You'll get overheated. If one doesn't give it away in time, one gets overheated. You need to share that energy with people. It's laughter and joy. Well, it's like this. You should rejoice in people. If you're married, you should share this love, this energy of the sun within the family. But in general, a man should be cheerful and a woman should know how to love. If she doesn't love people, then there won't be any sun. And accordingly, what extinguishes cheerfulness and love for people? Disappointment. When you're disappointed with at least one person, your mind goes there. What do you think? How are you going to act? Let's say 100 people love me, and I got disappointed in one person. Who will I think about? About the 100? Who would think about 100 people? I will think about the one who disappointed me. This is absolute foolishness. From a practical point of view in life, this is complete foolishness. 100 people love you, so think about these 100 people. Why wouldn't you? No, we will think about that one person and destroy our life. This is complete foolishness. This is how fate works. It doesn't need 100 people to dislike you. It's enough for this to happen with just one person, and I'll spend the whole day thinking about this boss who wants to fire me. That's it. I won't think about anything else. You understand? This is how our system works. And how to switch focus to those who love you? How to do this? You need to start doing good deeds. How to switch from thoughts about yourself and stop destroying yourself. You should go and feed the birds at least. You should go and do something good for someone if you can. When you do something good, what do people do? They smile at you. And when they smile at you, what happens? They switch your focus. Because everyone has their fate. And when you do something good for people, what kind of fate do you bring them? Bad? If you do bad things, what kind of fate do you bring? Bad. It's unfavorable to meet with you in this case. If someone meets you, it means you bring them bad fate. And what if you bring good fate? Once I was giving a lecture in Moscow and one man stood up and said, "What are you talking about?" I said, "I talk about goodness. I bring good things to people. If you do something good for people, they are grateful to you." Is gratitude a human power or non-human? Do you know where gratitude comes from? Can you show the place where gratitude comes from? It comes from here. If someone has ever experienced gratitude in their life, it bursts out from here like this. This means that God is inside every person. There are two souls inside a person. There is I, the soul, a small spark. It is right here in the same place in everyone. Should I show you? Who should I show it to? Do you want me to show you where your soul is located? Well, come out now, I'll show you. Wherever I try to fit my soul, wherever I try to place myself, my fate follows me. Stand up, turn towards me here, I'm showing you. Look, now you'll see an interesting phenomenon. I'm pressing here. Did you remember the sensation? Look, I'm shifting by a fraction of a millimeter like this. See, the sensations are not as significant now, right? Or slightly up like this. See, the sensations are not as significant now, are they? Here, to the side, and here. See, right here is the most important place in your life. Did you remember? It's approximately here in everyone. The soul is located right here. All right, sit down. And behind the soul, the supersoul or God is located on the spiritual plane. According to the Vedas, the size of the supersoul is from the base of the little finger to the tip of the thumb. The same God is inside every person. From the base of the little finger to the tip of the thumb. Well, the size of God is from the base of the little finger to the tip of the thumb. Yogis who can see it have described it to us. What?
Which hand?
Which hand? Right or left? I haven't clarified this in the scriptures. And what if there's no thumb? What then? If it was cut off by a circular saw, right? God didn't decrease in size because of that. So the Lord is behind. What does He give to a person? He gives a person gratitude, gives memory when you remember something. It's God who gives you memory, gives forgetfulness when you can't remember. God gives this too. For example, can you remember your past life? Some people can. But for this, you need to strive for it. God gives something if you have aspiration. There's a secret to how you can gradually remember your past lives. I'll tell you, it's not difficult. It's difficult to study it, but it's not difficult to do it. Memory of past life will gradually be restored if you work on it. Gratitude comes from God. If you do something good for people, at that moment, the Lord, through this person, pulls you away from your cruel fate. Every second of good deeds, you get closer to the possibility of saving yourself from the force destroying your life. Because every time gratitude comes, and at that moment you forget about your life, about your bad fate. You see, just when someone smiles at you, you already escape from the influence of bad fate. Imagine how great it is to know this rule. And if your sick dog doesn't wag its tail when you approach it, what does it mean? It means that most likely it will die. Because cruel fate has completely taken over its consciousness. It can no longer be happy about your presence. And what needs to be done to overcome your fate? You should pet the dog. If you keep petting and petting it, treating it kindly, and if it starts wagging its tail, it means it will survive. You see what I'm talking about? To learn more on the subject of health and healing of the body, please make sure to read my health guide, available for download on my YouTube channel or on my Instagram page. Thank you very much, and see you soon.